In the quiet suburbs of a bustling city lived a single mother named Layla. She worked tirelessly as a nurse, juggling long shifts to provide for her only son, Yusuf. Despite her struggles, Layla's faith in Allah remained unwavering, and she always emphasized kindness and charity, even when she had little to give. One winter evening, while driving home from the hospital, Layla noticed a man sitting on a bench near a bus stop. His clothes were torn, and his hands trembled in the biting cold. Something about him caught her attention. He wasn't begging, but his face bore a look of quiet despair. Layla parked her car and approached the man, offering him her scarf and the warm tea she had packed for herself. "Here, you look like you could use this," she said, her voice kind but firm. The man hesitated before accepting, his eyes filling with tears. "Thank you," he whispered. "It's been days since someone even looked at me." As the weeks passed, Layla couldn't shake the image of the man. She started carrying extra food and blankets in her car, hoping to see him again. One evening, she found him at the same bench. This time, she sat beside him and asked, "What's your name?" "David," he replied, his voice heavy with shame. "I wasn't always like this. I had a job, a family, a home, but life fell apart. I lost everything." Layla listened patiently, her heart aching for the man. "Do you believe things can change, David?" she asked. He laughed bitterly. "Not for someone like me. People only see me as a burden." "That's not true," Layla said. "In Islam, we're taught that every soul has value. Allah tests us, but He also provides a way out. You're not forgotten, David." Her words stirred something in him, a faint glimmer of hope he hadn't felt in years. Determined to help, Layla reached out to her local mosque and community. Together, they arranged temporary housing for David, helped him find a job, and connected him with counselors to rebuild his confidence. David was hesitant at first, but the consistent kindness and support began to chip away at his walls. Layla's son Yusuf also took a liking to David, often inviting him over for meals and teaching him about Islam. David was intrigued by the values of compassion, charity, and perseverance. "Why are you helping me?" he asked Layla one evening. "Because it's what my faith teaches me," she replied. "The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said none of you truly believes until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself." We're all connected, David. Months later, David was almost unrecognizable. He had a steady job, a warm place to live, and a newfound sense of purpose. But more than that, he had a deep respect for the faith that had saved him. He began attending lectures at the mosque, learning about Islam and its teachings of mercy and justice. One day, David approached Layla with tears in his eyes. "I've been searching for peace my whole life, and I think I've finally found it. I want to embrace Islam." Layla and Yusuf rejoiced, thanking Allah for guiding David. On the day of his Shahada, the mosque was filled with community members who had supported him on his journey. As he declared his faith, David felt a sense of belonging he had never known before. David's transformation inspired others in the community to take action. Layla's story spread, motivating people to reach out to those in need and live by the values of kindness and humanity. David himself became an advocate for the homeless, sharing his story and helping others find hope. Layla often reflected on how a small act of kindness, offering tea and a scarf, had set off a chain of events that changed a life. It was a reminder that no gesture of compassion is too small, and that through faith and action, even the darkest circumstances can be illuminated. Moral of the story: this story highlights the universal values of kindness, hope, and second chances, rooted in Islamic teachings. It shows how small acts of compassion can ripple outward, transforming lives and communities. The message resonates with audiences of all backgrounds, emphasizing the importance of empathy and faith in action.